Hey everyone, this is Supering, and I'm here to show you the changes that I've made to the character Donkey Kong, which are featured in my mod Project Cal. Starting off with a few of his attributes, his shield now is slightly larger, which helps him cover himself better. Before, the shield didn't even cover his fist at startup. And even then, the fist doesn't really have a hurt box on it. So even though it does stick out a little bit, the hurt box is closer to like his actual wrist. So even though it does start to poke out a little bit soon, there's not really a hurt box on his hand. So there's that. Next up, his hurt boxes were also changed. So before, there used to be a hurt box on his tie that would even move around, like how the tie moves would float up and move around in weird ways, and it was really big. Didn't really make any sense, so that was removed. Another change though is the hurt box on his forearm basically was actually reduced as well. So spacing on key moves like jab or forward tilt or neutral air, the priority is a little bit better. Moving into his attacks, first jab. Now the weak, or basically the sour hit of jab is basically the same, but I actually added a sweet spot to the jab, where if it basically have good spacing on the jab, it drags them in instead of knocks them away, which helps especially at high percents. As you can see, they start to get knocked away, and it can be harder, especially on lighter characters, to get the second jab. But if you land the sweet spot on the first jab, it links a lot better. Kind of reminiscent of Smash 4. It also has a little bit less lag at the end of the first hit jab and second hit, so you can follow up on it better. Next is dash attack. This move in Vanilla Melee was unusable. It was too laggy to do anything. You could get punished even if you landed on the move. So now it also had a weird angle too. It sent straight up 100 degrees. So now the angle it sends out is more out and away than up, and it has 9 frames less 9 frames less lag. So it's a little bit safer, especially on hit. His forward tilt, the main thing that boosts that is the hurt box on his forearm, like I explained earlier. It also has 1 less frame of lag, so he can act out of it just a tiny bit faster, which helps him control space in front of him better. Down tilt, pretty much the same, just has a little bit more knockback growth, sends him a little further away at higher percents. For smash attacks, they're mostly the same, except they do a little bit more shield damage now. As you can see. Yeah, see, his shield starts to get real small there. Down smash, pretty much the same. It actually just has 1 extra frame of like 1 extra lingering frame for the hitbox, which is nice. For his neutral air actually is a little bit faster now, or it has less landing lag from 20 frames to 19, which makes the L cancel 1 frame faster. Instead of 10, it's 9. And the weak hit of Nair does a little bit less damage, and it has less knockback growth. So it actually makes it better at comboing. Forward air, it now does 18 damage instead of 16. It has a little bit less knockback growth to compensate, and it actually has less startup by 2 frames, so it's a little bit faster, makes the move able to be used in a short hop more reliably. It also, the landing lag was increased by 2 frames, which means to L cancel it is 16 frames instead of 15. His back air, pretty much the same. The strong hit and the weak hit actually linger a little bit more, so he can try to use it in combos. I don't know all the combos for back air, but should be better at them now. In compensation though, the auto cancel was increased from 20 frames to 22, so you can't auto cancel it as quickly. Okay, and here is probably the biggest change that I've made to this character. So, like I've mentioned in earlier videos, I don't really like touch of death moves on characters, and DK was pretty much bad in a lot of ways except his one true combo, the cargo up throw to up air. Up air was ridiculously fast. You didn't even have to like L cancel, you could fast fall it and it would auto cancel. So the move was just kind of brain dead and really fast and did too much damage. So what I've done is I've reduced the damage from 14 to 13. The auto cancel window was almost doubled from 13 frames to 25. The interruptible frame was increased from 38 to 42, so he can't jump out of it as fast. And the landing lag was also increased by a little bit from 25 to 26, which means the L cancel is 12 frames to 13. So basically, this move shouldn't feel as spammy. You can still fast fall it, you just can't fast fall on the first frame basically. So this move still gets you good combos at low percent, but at high percent it's not as good as juggling, but not by a lot. It's still pretty good at what it was used to do before. It just doesn't feel as broken of a move. And since that was Donkey Kong's pretty much best move in Vanilla Melee, nerfing that, kind of justifies the buffs to a lot of his other moves. So that's kind of my thinking behind that. Next up is Donkey Kong's down air. There was a weak hit on the move that did 13 damage. Now it should do 14. And the landing lag was reduced from 31 frames to 28, so it's a little bit faster, which was 15 frames L cancel to 14. Okay, and then the other big changes were to his throw. Cargo up throw has more knockback growth, so it sends him further away at higher percents. Just makes it less of a chain grab like I said, you should be able to get guaranteed damage from grabs and throws, but not KOs. Well, you can get a KO from a grab, just not a KO from 0% to KO from a grab. Just grabs is kind of dumb. So there's that, and also standing up throw. Basically the same thing, more knockback. And that's pretty much it for all those normal moves. Pretty much the last thing is side B. So this move in Vanilla Melee, it couldn't ground opponents if DK was in the air. So now it does. And also if the opponent is in the air, the move is now a true spike. It's not very strong, but that is something to take note of. Anyways, there's that. So basically, DK, he's got better normals, better aerials, all around. And so he should feel like more of a rounded out character instead of just one-dimensional. He's better at covering up his weaknesses. He's still big, so he can get knocked around, but he's better at outranging opponents and just a little bit stronger in certain areas and can combo a little bit better. So I hope you like the changes. Thanks for watching.